this set up here real quick. And again, I'm making this into a YouTube video, so if I say anything a little weird, if I sound a little by the book, because the people on YouTube aren't the same as people on Twitch, okay? So, I'm going to be starting this off probably a little more PG, a little more controlled. Okay, guys? So, everybody just bite the bullet. Hello, and I don't do second takes. Keep that in the video. I messed up the intro. We're putting it in. This is Coach, and this is my first patch rundown with patch 8.24. Me and my guys in chat, we're just circle jerking each other. We're ready to get into the patch. Let's get started with patch 8.24. All right, Nico. Okay, first things first. I swear to God, I'm not overreacting. This champion's busted. You want to pick ban every game 100%. I haven't played Nico on the PB. I haven't played against her on the PB. I heard a guy said she was OP, and I trust that guy because it was Badi. Okay, you're gonna want 100% pick ban this champ. It's busted, out of control, just like everything new Riot makes. Put it on the bench. Don't even take a chance. Wait until the second round of nerfs, not the first round. The second round must be OP if it's a new champ. Bench it. We're not gonna go too much into her abilities. We'll talk about it when she's out. Aatrox. Q no longer deals bonus damage to monsters. So if you guys don't know, because you're in NA, in Korea, it is very popular to run Aatrox Aftershock jungle. For whatever godforsaken reason, Aatrox has bonus damage to monsters just tied into his kit because Riot wanted him to be a jungler, right? Riot could do this to literally any champion, but you know why they did it to Aatrox? Because Aatrox is a new champion, and they want him to be viable in more places to push their agenda, keeping the game fresh. It's shady. It's bad game design. It's bad balance. It doesn't look good for Riot. And you know what? They're starting to realize that. They reverted the change now that Aatrox jungle is actually getting picked up. Huh! It's like they go against their own design philosophy. Interesting, Riot. This is Riot's message to the community. Okay, so I'm gonna give them a hard time for it. It's stupid that this was even a thing. It should never be a thing. It should just balance the game better. And if they wanted Aatrox to be a jungler, which it's obvious that they did, why didn't they just do that to every champion that they want to be able to jungle? Why don't they just give everybody bonus damage just inherent in their kit, right? Well, they've done that in the past, and they generally seem to revert it. Aatrox, they just, they wanted to be a jungler, and now they don't. And this might push him out of the jungle. We'll see. I don't think it will, but it's definitely going to slow his clear a significant amount. Also going to be a slight nerf to Aatrox Smite mid. Okay, Akali. If this isn't a nerf, I swear to God. If this isn't a nerf, we're done the patch notes. I'm uninstalling the game. If this is not a nerf, I am uninstalling the game. So, here we go. We're exploring deeper changes to Akali to address the frustration she causes for opponents. Well, this sounds good. Independent of whether she's strong or weak, in the meantime, we're reducing Twilight Shroud duration to be more appropriate for the zoning power it offers when used aggressively. The duration of Shroud is reduced by two seconds. Okay. It's not enough. It's not enough of a nerf. But they did say they're essentially going to be nerfing her more. 2 seconds off Shroud, it does delay her stalling a little bit, but I don't think that's enough of a nerf to Akali. She has too much mobility and too many ways to just close the gap and not die. And this will be, a slight hit, but really this is not much of a nerf, in my opinion. They say in the meantime, though, so it looks like they got more changes on the way. This is a start. It's a start. Where I'd like to see it finish is just a complete revert. Yeah. A lot of popular Akali players, including TF Blade, by the way. Sorry for him. His champ got nerfed. Yeah, where's the true stealth removal? I mean, nobody wants it. Riot wants it, but nobody else does. This true stealth might be all right if this Shroud lasts about 4 or 5 seconds. And you can stamp it out. What I mean by that, walking over parts of the Shroud should remove the invisibility from that area. Counterplay. Champions with high mobility that can get around the whole circle. Like, let's say Hecarim runs a circle around it. Well, there you go. Now champions that are fast have some counterplay, you know? So champions without actual gap closer, you know, it's just they don't, I just don't think they're creative enough with this kind of stuff. It'd be really easy to program. I mean, if you're walking through a smoke field, you know, you're not just going to sit there and be like, well, shit, I'm stuck in here, I can't find you. No, you're going to walk around and try to find her. You bump into her, that should like knock her out or something, or you should be able to blow away the smoke, you know. There's no counterplay, right? It's all about, you know, we want windows of counterplay. We want opportunity. Well, counterplay isn't having a Gragas on your team and ulting around. No, that's too like anecdotal, and it's just not. It's rarely going to happen, you know. Or having an Azir on your team. Oh yeah, just knock her out. Great. Use an entire ult of one ability that's on a 15-second cooldown. No, counterplay is something everybody can participate in, and it's almost like a mini game. Yeah, like the counterplay is AoE her and hope you hit her, or just like knock her out with like a couple of abilities. It's not really much counterplay. But we'll see how then they nerf her more in the future. Camille, attack speed decrease. Okay, so this is a clear shot at Camille jungle. Base attack speed goes down. That's a decent amount of base attack. At level 18, that's probably going to be maybe like a dagger or two worth of attack speed. The problem is Camille, she's really not that affected by this in my, like, Camille jungle doesn't have the best clear to begin with. Her damage is gated by her Q cooldown. It's not gated so much by her attack speed. Camille is strong because of her E and her Q true damage and her ult. She's not really strong because of her base stats. I mean, she is strong because of it, but Camille'll still be good. You're still going to be trying to gank on her a lot. I'm starting to see Riot's design philosophy here, and I hope they stick with it. What they're trying to do is essentially keep OP stuff in the game, like Camille's E, like Akali's Shroud, and they're trying to have everything be OP. So when you want to have really overpowered abilities in the game, you go for base stats, because that decreases the champ's inherent power, but it still allows them to have the kits that they have. So I'm okay with this change, because I do think Camille is one of the strongest junglers right now. But let's see if they stay consistent with it, because they rarely do. Galio. Q, mana, and again, I'm not reading chat. I'll get to it when we're done. Sorry, guys. Q cost decrease, wind blast damage increased, tornado flat damage removed, but max health damage increased. E is faster, but deals less damage to... Okay. So, it looks like they buffed the damage of Galio's Q. Good. I like to see the lowered mana costs. I do. If you guys didn't know, Gallia's mana at rank, or Q mana cost at rank 5 cost over 100 mana. It costs 130 mana. So at rank 3, it costs as much as every other ultimate ability in the game for a Q. That's stupid. That's just bad game design. And Riot's realizing that and saying, hey, we're lowering the mana cost back down because it used to be lower. It looks like they're increasing the base damage, increasing every aspect. This is going to be overpowered. Tornado no longer deals... Oh, so the burn... I think this is the burn damage. I'm not sure. Max health tornado damage. No, this is a flat buff across the board. Goes from, unless this is a typo, 0. This is a huge buff to his Q. Absolutely huge. Massive buff to his Q. They increased the ability power ratio on and gave it 6 free percentage health. Unless this is a type, this might be a typo. Why would this even be here, this 0? I'm pretty sure this is a mistake. I don't think it was 0 before, but massive buff if this is true. But it looks like they're nerfing other parts of Galio's kit. Justice Punch, a little smoother, a little quicker. I like that. It's only a 20th of a second. The speed is increased, also nice. I like that. And now it does reduce damage to non-champs. Okay. Well, with the new Q, I don't think this will matter too much. You're going to be seeing Justice Punch used more for engages rather than clearing minion waves. Although I still think you'll see it used to clear minion waves. 50% is a lot. But with a faster dash speed, Riot's kind of encouraging you to use it more for going for champs because it'll be more reliable. Because it is a pretty slow and easily dodged ability. I kind of like this. I mean, if you're going to buff it, and they realize they need to nerf it some way, it's probably not the worst idea. Especially considering they gave him wave clear back anyway. It's going to be interesting to see if Smite Galio mid comes back. I'm pretty sure Galio Smite mid is already getting picked in Korea right now. A little bit. A lot of people don't know that. And even though the camps are spawning 2 seconds later, the Raptors, Galio, I'm pretty sure, especially with this new Q buff, will be able to just one-shot level 1. Yeah, 20 more damage with the new runes and all the AP Galio can get level 1. 20, that is. He probably will be able to one-shot it, level 1. So that'll be interesting. You see Galio Smite mid, calling it right now. Going to be one of the few Smite mids that actually works after the patch. I'm calling it now. Last change, damage reduction on the ult removed. I don't like this. They're trying to make him more of a solo queue champion rather than a team. I mean, I get what they're trying to do. So Riot's essentially trying to make Galio less good and competitive because good players actually know how to utilize this and coordinate it. They're basically saying, hey, we don't give you voice chat and solo queue, so we're going to change this champion. So everybody, this to me just screams Riot's never giving us voice chat and solo queue. Because they're taking everything out of the game that requires coordination. All the cool stuff, like the damage reduction shield, that's a great idea. That's a cool mechanic, and they just remove it. I hate that. Enemies in the center are no longer knocked up. Longer, now 0.75 knockup for all enemies hit. Yeah, again, that rewards people with less coordination rather than more. Yeah, they remove the damage reduction. I don't like that at all. They're just turning them into a generic champion. They're making the game. They're pruning in a lot of ways. So where I just said with the Camille that they're keeping the identity of her kit, and I think that's good for the game. Let's see if they continue with that design philosophy. Literally, the next champion, they do the opposite. They increase his numbers and take away what makes him unique. I don't like this at all. I think this is a stupid change. This just goes to show you Riot does not have an overarching design philosophy. Their lead developer are just all over the place. They have no leadership. They have no vision for this game. Yeah, it's still a strong ult. It's still going to be useful. Its cooldown's going to be way too long now for what it does. It just... The damage reduction shield, made... Juggernaut comps, and I don't really like those kind of comps, but it made a lot of cool comps work. Now it's just gonna be, he's just like every other tank, every other AP tank. He's just an engage. That's all. He's not an enabler. He's not, I know, I get that this is a buff for low elo. This just goes to show you they do not balance their game around the highest levels of play. This just goes to show you. So far, this patch, I'm not too proud of. Right, I don't really like this. I mean, for solo queue, sure, I like it, but I again, even though I play solo queue every day, I want this game to be balanced around competitive. I want this game to be balanced around the top 0.5% of players. But that's just me. Heimerdinger, slight buffs and tooltip fixes. Slight buff bug fixes. Okay. So this looks like turrets actually scale with CDR. So I'm not. This looks like quality of life sort of stuff. The last thing I'll tell you right now is Heimer doesn't really need buffs. They did increase the damage of some of these abilities. I don't know why they're buffing Heimer. I don't really care about Heimer, let's be honest. Just remove that champ. Alawi, this is a champion I like in play. E cooldown decrease early, R cooldown decrease late. 20 seconds to 16, that's not bad. A lot of Alawi's raise E in lane. So for those players, it's less impactful, but still pretty nice. 4 seconds level 1 is not bad at all. And ult cooldown, that will be nice. It'll allow Alawi to pressure side lanes more frequently because you pretty much can't do anything without your ult. These are nice changes to Alawi, they are. Because she's not a champion you can just increase her numbers on. She already has some of the most damage in the game. I like this. This is going to give her more laning power, more poke potential. She's going to be oppressive if she lands her E. I'll just tell you that right now. Her win rate's not the best right now. It's sub 50%, it's like 48, 49. But this will definitely pull her closer to 50. Absolutely. This will definitely give her a boost. Aurelia. Okay. Another TF Blade champ. If I don't see a nerf here, I'm going to start a riot at Riot. Here we go. Get out your popcorn. I don't think the Akali nerf was enough. Let's see if this one is. W cooldown increased early damage reduction reduced. No longer grants passive stag on cast. Ooh. Now this is a nerf. 2 seconds off Shroud isn't much. And you know, Riot did that because Akali's win rate in low elo is like sub 45%. That's really low. This is a nerf. It kind of pigeonholes this into being an actual defensive ability. The biggest nerf to this isn't so much the cooldown early on, because you're only going to get one a fight. You're never going to get more than one a fight. And when does Aurelia really use this for trading when you suspect that you're going to be ganked? Good Aurelias will always have this up when they need it. That's my point. The damage reduction, 10%, not really that significant. Most people just don't use abilities on it anyway. Although maybe when she uses it low, you could deep burn through it. Really, that matters, but it's not a huge change. The big nerf to this, casting Defiant Dance no longer grants a stack of Ionian Fervor. Stack still granted based on enemies hit. Wait. Is that the free dash? I don't even know the name of her abilities. Chat, help me out. Defiant Ionian Fervor, is that the one where she gets a free jump, right? She doesn't get a free jump off of landing this ability, right? Reducing number of trades really wins. It's passive. Is it just a stack? Oh, wait. It's just one of her passive stacks that she could get from like jumping to 18 minions? Oh, Riot. I actually thought you did something good here. I thought that she's not allowed to jump to a target she hits with this ability now. Or get the reset. Oh, never mind. Riot, come on. What are you scared of? All the gold and silver Aurelia mains are gonna get mad at you for nerfing their champ? Are you serious? They probably don't even look at the patch notes. They probably don't even they don't even know the W it gives you a shield. They just use it to wave clear. Oh, she doesn't reset off W. No, if you land any ability on Aurelia. Oh, so she already is like that. Okay. I don't play this champ. I don't really know. She has too many jumps though. So she just doesn't get a this isn't a big nerf then. I think they changed that a while ago. All right. Her E and R give resets. Okay. So the W actually doesn't give a reset already. Well, sorry for overreacting. This isn't this isn't a big enough of a nerf. She's still gonna be dashing all over the place. We'll see though. One of the counters to Aurelia, I would say, is Jax. They're nerfing Jax? What? You don't see him in competitive at all. Especially not in the jungle, which is what they say this is targeted at. Why are they nerfing Jax? Jax jungle is good in low elo. It's not good in high elo. Stop bouncing around bad players, Riot! God! They're bouncing around solo queue. This is so bad for the game. It's like they've accepted the fact that most people aren't going to be good at the game, even though they're really not. I don't think they're attracting too many new players. Maybe they are, but I just don't like this at all. This is a big nerf. This is a huge nerf late game to Jax. This is one of my favorite champions. Hasn't been changed for so long. You don't have a lot of room to outplay on him. You are defined by your base stats and your base damages, and they're taking that away from him now. Whereas Aurelia gets to, keep her kit. She gets to keep all her crazy abilities. They just reduce the effectiveness on him. This is different for Jack. This is damage. This is flat damage. It's not like they're reducing Aurelia's Q damage so she can't execute minions easier. No, this is just like a flat, like, F you to Jack's players. There's so many other ways that they could have, dealt with this, but it looks like they want to keep abilities the way they are and just nerf, 2 numbers, I guess. I don't like this. I don't think Jack's needed a nerf. I think he has plenty of counterplay early in the game. He's very easily taken advantage of. This is literally just, there's a reason you don't see too many in high elo. There's a reason you see him a lot in low elo. What are you gonna nerf Garen, Riot? No, Garen's been getting plenty of buffs. So really, that doesn't really fall in line with your design philosophy. Man, if I knew I was gonna be complaining this much about doing a patch rundown, call me Hishinshin, but maybe I just shouldn't do these anymore. I am not happy with this patch. I'm seeing what I want to see to an extent, but it's just not enough, and it's not good enough, I don't think. But at least they're nerfing champs that need nerfs, except Jax. At least they're doing that. And I like the Alawi buff, but I'm working myself up into a frenzy here. Okay, LeBlanc. W cooldown increased early. Another 4 seconds on that. Later, it's still the same. This is an okay change. Gives you more windows of opportunity to gank her. I'm okay with this. I still think LeBlanc needs more nerfs too. I don't think this is enough. I think she's way too strong, but this is a good start. This is a little bit. 4 seconds off of her W early on. That's not. That actually gives you a window of opportunity to kill her because if she uses the wave clear or just harass, really, that's 4 more seconds where you can set up a gank. Like if you're at Crab, that gives you time to run over. So it's not a huge change, but again. It's funny. The champions with all the utility and everything in their kit, they nerf. They don't nerf their numbers. They never nerf their numbers. It's always the level of which they have utility. Like they just with Camille, they nerfed her numbers. They just have a different strategy for every champ. It seems like. But I like this change. I think it's good. Victor, Q base damage decreased, cooldown increase, E ratio increased, cooldown decreased. Okay, so Victor's Q cooldown is lowered or increased by 1 second. Victor's base damage on the initial part of it, which is not the part that does the most damage, is decreased by 30 at max rank. That's a decent amount. A decent amount for sure. His Death Ray lowers cooldown and does more damage. I think overall this is a nerf, but it's not a very big one. .1 ability power ratio, 1 second less. See, the thing is, this ability, I'm pretty sure it costs a lot more mana. But no, I think that's a good nerf to Victor, and I don't think it'll push him out of the game either. We'll see how that pans out, but I think that's all right. His shield's probably gonna. I don't know why they didn't nerf his shield. That's still gonna be an issue. It's still gonna be way too big, but it's fine. Every champ is different. They can't just use base number changes on everyone. Yeah, no, I get that. But they've made it pretty evident that they don't want to change numbers too much on champions with good kits. Like really, really crazy kits. Unless it's something that gets picked heavily in competitive, Because Galio is or as opposed to solo queue, Which I'd argue LeBlanc and Camille do that anyway. But anyway, no, you're right. You're right. Recent under the hood code work has led to a few skill shots. So this is slight quality of life buffs, it looks like, to these champions' abilities. Looks like. Okay, this is all VFX, sound effects, visual stuff. So Nivea, Mundo, Gragas, Renekton, Teemo, don't really care. Items. Death's Dance. Many AD fighters have healing works on all damage. Wow. Healing works on all damage. Well, this is... Now all of a sudden, Jax might be building Death's Dance. Probably not, honestly, because Trinity Sterox is still going to be so good. Could be something you see late game. Wow. Mordekaiser might be able to build something like this. Mordekaiser actually has really nice AD ratios. Not his ult, but I don't know. You might just see this on random champions you wouldn't expect before. Maybe like Ezreal or something. Akali you could see this on. Aurelia. Actually, Aurelia already does all AD. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't think of too many champions that will use this, but there will be some for sure. I think the main problem with this item is it just costs too much gold. But this is an interesting change. Interesting change for sure. I don't think you're going to see too much of it. I bet you there's going to be like 1 or 2 champions that abuse the hell out of this item. I'm pretty sure Death's Dance is going to be absolutely busted on Pyke. If you guys don't know, Pyke mid is already busted. That's what I'm saying right now is going to get the most value out of this. Because Pyke's ultimate... Is that considered... I can't even remember now if it's like an execute. It's like true damage because it goes through shields, right? Darius. Oh my god, the Darius ult. If this works on true damage, oh my god. You're going to see, that's single target. Oh, this is going to be so good on Darius. Because he's going to ult somebody, do 1,000 damage instantly, and then instantly get a, like, 150 heal on top of his Triumph. Yeah, some champs are really going to be able to use this well. Fiora, it's going to be big on her. Fiora's already built Death's Dance sometimes. This will be interesting to see. I like the buff to Bruisers. Veigar doesn't build AD. Benched. Amplifies his Q heal too. Well, not any more than it did before. Because his Q was already AD. True damage champions. Garen. You could potentially see this on Garen. Maybe. Garen's R does do magic damage, and his villain, I think, does true damage. So we'll see. We'll see. Those are, off the top of my head, some champions we thought of that. Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa's another one, yeah. Kai'Sa's definitely another one. Kai'Sa and Ezreal, yeah, we already said. I still think this item's pretty expensive, but you're definitely going to see more of it. I like this. This is a good change. More options for players is always good. Eye of the Herald can no longer be activated during combat with non-minions. With non-minions. This is a coach buff. This is a buff to me. The amount of times I've tried to ward hop as Jax and summon Herald instead and die. More than I'd like to admit. So you can't use this in combat anymore. I don't like this change though. This is not quality of life as much as they'd like to say it is. This is changing the game. Quality of life is something that doesn't affect the game. If you summon the Rift Herald, that is a mistake on your part. For instance, if you're a Jax player, you should never really be taking Rift to begin with. Because Jax needs ward hops. It's like pretty important part of his kit. I don't like this change. I don't like this. This is, you know how I just said this gives you more player options, this gives you less options. What if I want to use it in the middle of a fight? What if I want to use it against champions and get a ward hop over the wall? Now I can't do that. I've done that before, by the way. In combat, I've literally summoned Rift and hopped over a wall. I don't like this. I know it's small, I know it's stupid, but this just goes to show their design philosophy again is catered towards casual players. And you know, maybe they're smart and I'm just dumb and think this isn't good for the competitive, but they're probably thinking this is what's going to keep our game alive, making the game just slightly more enjoyable for everybody. But it just goes to show you the disconnect I feel like they have. Like they in their eyes, you know, back at Riot behind their desk, they're thinking, yeah, this is a good change for everybody. No one's ever going to mess up again. When really, that's kind of the fun of the game. You know, And this is like a buff to like a lot of, because essentially what it's saying is you can actually use your trinkets while in combat. I honestly though I don't like that. I like the trade-off that they had before. I like the trade-off. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. I mean, does anyone else agree with me? I kind of like the trade-off that this had before, where if you're someone who uses Warthopper, don't take the Herald. That's just me though. I'm crazy. Okay. Maybe I'm just on a Riot hate train today. You can't use wards while you have it still. Either way, I still just, that's part of the fun is seeing when people mess up with this because you forgot you had it. Kind of dumbing down the game a little bit, in my opinion. It's not a big deal either way. I prefer it the way it was. Poacher's Dirk removed. I know nobody built this, but this is just less player options. So I'm never for something getting removed that isn't broken. I want as many options for players and playstyles in the game as possible, and I have maybe like 100 games I've seen, maybe like 2 or 3 people build this. I don't like this. I don't even care what the reasoning is. I really don't care. I'm not going to read it. They shouldn't remove stuff that people don't even use to begin with. They should either buff it or give us a different option or more options, not just take away options for players. Dumbing down the game. I don't like it. Dark Harvest, base damage cut in half at level 1. That's a huge nerf. Also can't proc off of other procs. That's good. Shouldn't be able to proc off of other procs like Scorch, Liandry's. The base damage nerf might actually mean that people stop going it. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think, if this goes through, I don't think it's OP anymore. It's just a balanced rune. We'll see, though. The reason I was saying Dark Harvest was so good before is because it does damage when you want damage. You want that extra burst of damage when somebody is low, because it gives you more burst. And that's why it's so strong. So even if its numbers are less than every other keystone, it still might end up being better, just because it gives you damage when you want it. When somebody's low, when someone's about to die. Because if you don't secure kills, a lot of the time, it's not as useful. Pushing somebody out of lane is obviously really nice, but securing kills a lot more important. But we'll see. I think this will actually knock it down a peg. For sure it will. That's a pretty big nerf. 20 base damage. All right, so we talked about this earlier. This is a nerf to smite mids because Riot reverted the jungle item where you don't get nerfed income for having the most farm on your team. So now mids take smite. This is an attempt to counter that. Now the camps spawn at 1 minute 30, just like all the other buffs. This is a nerf to junglers. Let's be clear here. This is a nerf to junglers because mid laners want to take smite and carry the game by non-interactive gameplay. And this is their attempt to get rid of that. It's a good idea, but it's not going to fix the problem completely. I'm pretty sure you'll still, there's quite a few champs that can still one-shot the camps. This will be a nerf to some smite mids, but for the most part, talking about Galio, I think Galio mid, this might actually make him one of the only guys who can use smite mid, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure there are champs that will still not miss farm and be able to do this, even with the 2 seconds later spawn. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not super knowledgeable of all the different smite mids, but we'll see if Aatrox can get the lane in time without missing much. Even if you miss a minion or two, it's still worth. So I don't think this is going to get rid of smite mid. This is just kind of a nerf to jungler. This is a nerf to Kayn. This is a nerf to Amumu. Junglers who start Raptors. So it's going to nerf junglers almost as much as it's going to nerf mids here. But we'll see. We'll see how much it pans out. Nexus Blitz. Don't care. Seriously, I've never even played Nexus Blitz. Literally don't care. Extra champion interactions. You can hotkey champion interactions now. So all you role players, you get to talk like your favorite champion and kiss Shyvana's leg if you're Ezreal. It's an old meme, sir, but it checks out. Thank you. Ranked. Okay. See your rank after just one game. Okay. Tiers and division. Iron tier will be out next patch. Okay. So all the tiers are getting added. New borders, all that kind of stuff. Bug fixes. Skins. Got the frozen skins. Let's see who gets the best. Oh, this one wins. 100%. That's easily the best skin. Do you want to build a snowman team? Soraka does. I like how she has eyes the size of literal apples. Yeah, all these other skins look stupid. Well, this one's alright. Okay, chromas, blah, 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 and we're done. Alright. Those were Coach's first patch notes. I wish they could have been a little bit more positive. But, you know, I give Riot a hard time. They're a multi-million-dollar company. I want to see changes I want to see. Overall, if I had to give this patch a grade, and I get they're not trying to do too much at once, there's a lot of things I want to see in the game, like junglers not getting level 2 off of camps. And I'm a jungler. And I still don't think junglers should get level 2 off the first camp, because that means mid laners get level 2 off the first camp when they take smite. There's a lot of other things I'm not going to talk about. There should be buffs and nerfs to the jungle. Like I think smites, like red smite's too strong. I think I got buffs for junglers too. But anyway, that's my first patch. Overall, it's not terrible. They're going in the right direction, but it's not the best either. I would have liked to see more, but I think it's okay. I mean, they're nerfing champions that need to be nerfed, and not just because they want to, but a couple. Like I didn't like the Galio change too much, although he is going to be playable in solo queue again. So I'm gonna give this patch a B-. I'll give it a B-. I'm curious to see what other patch rundown people say and compare mine to theirs. See if we align on any ideas. I'll probably take a look at that. But there it is, team. That's my first patch rundown as coach. Let me know what you thought in the comments.